Apple presenting this literally as they announced that the iPhone Air will have all-day battery life is like the equivalent of you going to your doctor's and the doctor does your physical and everything, and the doctor's like, "Hey, you know what, Qasim? Keep doing what you're doing. Everything looks good." But then he turns to a piece of paper, starts writing, and you're like, "Hey, doc, what are you doing there?" And doc's like, "Oh, this is just your blood pressure medication in case you may need it." That's what Apple did by literally giving everybody this like mental confusion as to whether or not the iPhone Air is even going to get good battery life. Now, for me personally, I've been getting through my days with the iPhone Air just fine. I've not had any problems. Like, I can easily get 6 hours of screen on time, and that's a lot for me. But the reason I want to pick this up, even for my wife, who also changed to the iPhone Air, is because this is the only MagSafe battery pack that's gonna feel as good as this does with the iPhone Air. The other thing is that this is not the battery pack that you put on your phone at 5%. This is the battery pack that if you know you're gonna have a long day, you leave the house with because it's made to be like a supplementary battery, right? And it's what it's gonna do is that when you leave the house for the day, you leave with this on and let your phone use the battery of this pack first. And then eventually, when this dies out, you simply take it off and use your phone. So when you're traveling, when you have those long days, that is going to be the advantage that you get. With something like this, you're just going to be able to go a little bit longer in your day. The most important thing that you're probably thinking about when it comes to this MagSafe battery pack is how is it going to charge your iPhone Air? And what I want you to think is that this is basically a battery of the iPhone Air placed in this clamshell accessory that can just be attached to the back of your phone, giving you another battery to rely on. And what I like to do, and what I would suggest you to do, is use that 80% charge limit on your iPhone. Whatever iPhone you have, it's a good thing to do for the long-term battery health of your iPhone. And so I like to charge when I get down to 30%. And 2 times I did that with this MagSafe battery pack, and each time I was left with 34% one time and then 37% another time after charging to that 80% limit. So if you're somebody that's going to charge to 100%, then you're probably not going to be really left with a lot of juice on the battery pack itself. Now I want to talk about the design of this MagSafe battery pack, and what I really like is just like the curvature on the corners here. It's got a really nice feel in the hand. If you have an iPhone Air, the nicest thing about the iPhone Air is how good it feels in the hand, and this is going to help you retain that. You're not going to get that with any third-party battery pack. It's just not going to feel the same. Even like I have the slim version of this one that I always recommend simply because it's so great and it looks really good. But neither their slim version or their like 10K version feel as good as the Apple battery. Now you could get this. You want to save money? This is a great battery pack too. You can definitely do that. But if you want that first party experience, then you're going to have to go with the iPhone Air MagSafe battery. Now, one cool thing is if you have an iPhone 16e, well, this actually just about fits it. Like it's off the edge just a little bit. So if you're not going to be bothered by that, personally, I'm not. This makes for a great battery pack for the 16e. Although do remember, because the 16e just has standard wireless charging and it's not MagSafe, you will need a MagSafe case, and it's going to charge it a lot slower. But again, if you're using this how this should be used, and you just simply leave the house with this on, you're going to be able to get great battery life for that entire day. Now, another cool thing about the design is that it does work with things like your AirPods. So you could just pop your AirPods on there and they're going to start charging. If you have another phone that is MagSafe, you can put it on here as a desk pad, basically. And this is something that I pointed out in the last MagSafe battery too, that it's really cool that if you buy this, you also have like a portable charger. So all you got to bring is a cable and the power cube. And I'll link the one I use. It's actually the one that I make. 2-pack goes for $19.99. If you want to support the channel, that is a really good way to do it. And so if you bring those two items with this, now you've got a charging pad for your phone that is going to be fully compatible with your phone. So you're basically traveling with one charger that can be your travel charger and also be with you for the day. Because let's say even if you get home from a long day and you plug in this and this together, well, they're both going to charge. And your MagSafe battery pack, because it knows your iPhone is always priority, when it senses that your iPhone has low battery, it's going to charge that first before charging itself up. Now, another notable thing is that you can charge using this USB-C port. Not only can you charge the battery pack, but you can also charge your phone that way. And this is where one downside for me comes in, is that it doesn't actually do fast charging via this port. So typically when I'm traveling, if I see a moment like, let's say I'm going to sit down and have lunch, what I'll do is I'll just simply plug in my battery pack to my phone via cable, because it's a more efficient way to charge. And that way you can make your battery pack last even longer. Since there's so much energy lost during wireless charging, right? That is just a more efficient way of doing things. So I prefer to do that, but because this only charges at I think like 6-7 watts max via cable, it's just painfully slow and not something I see myself doing. So that definitely would have been a cool feature to have on this. But overall, if I look at this, why I would recommend you buy this for your Air, again, simple. It just goes back to the design. This is going to complement it not only on a software level, but also from a design level. And personally, if I'm buying a battery pack specifically for my iPhone Air, since I have this option, this would be the one I go for. I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, all I ask is you just give me a thumbs up so more people can find this video. Comment down below if you do have questions. Like if you feel like I left something out, ask me in the comments. I will do my best to answer. And most importantly, just take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video.